On this episode of DC On Screen, we talk new trailers for Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, Dead Boy Detectives, and Merry Little Batman. Plus, post-strike, the business is booming again. We have exciting news about Superman Legacy, Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, and more, right after these words from our mystery sponsors. Welcome into DC On Screen, the podcast bringing you news and reviews of the DC multiverse on film and television since 2015. I am your host, David C. Robertson. This is my beloved co-host, back at the saddle, Jason Goss.
Hello.
Hey man, how's it going?
Good. I am in the saddle, but, you know.
Chafing a little?
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm fine. All that got to heal. It's news, you're leading, so I'm just sort of like, got that grip around the bottom of your stomach.
Yeah.
Just holding the tummy folds for dear life.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you got to.
Yeah.
You got to.
Trying not to stay too close, because I know you didn't get off the saddle, and you're probably chafed still.
Oh, my God.
It's bad?
Yeah, man.
Stop at the next general store for some...
My dick is a bloody no.
What did you call baby powder before it was baby powder? Some tinctures or some shit? I don't know. I could use a couple.
Just a couple of sprinklings of snake oil is all.
Yeah.
Well, before we start, a quick thanks to the patrons. Patreon.com/DCOnscreen. Becoming a patron really is the best way to support our show. So thank you to everyone who has chosen to become a patron, and thank you to everyone who will make that choice in the future. $1 a month gets you every episode ad-free, and $5 a month gets you that plus extra content like warm-ups, Marvel discussions, and any other random thing we decide to throw up there, like Comic Castaways, where we talk about bizarre...
Comic Castigation.
Yeah. We talk about bizarre, lesser-known comic book characters. They're a lot of fun. We should do more of those.
We do need to. I like to take an afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
Just... afternoon, couple of edibles, and DC Comics Encyclopedia.
We'll get one episode out.
Yeah.
You can
the
also,
rest entirely unusable.
You can also join the Patreon community for free. So check us out, man. Patreon.com/DCOnscreen. Drop in, say hello. Please don't send us pictures of your asshole. But I won't block you if you do. If that's where your heart leads you.
And you know, stuff like that doesn't just come up out of nowhere. I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
That's right. We haven't had that on the Patreon, but we've been doing this a while.
Yeah.
We've seen some shit. Literally.
Mm-hmm. Just
all right,
minimize that if at all possible. I appreciate it, guys.
Let's talk about this new Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom trailer. It's an international trailer. What did you think, man?
I mean, not too different. I mean, it's probably about, what, 50% different from what we've seen so far?
Yeah, I would say about 50. Yeah.
I thought, looking at the visuals on this, that, like, damn, it's going to be a pretty film again.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I ain't joking about the edibles on that one. Like, maybe that's a good call. Second viewing.
Yeah.
But it looks pretty.
The VFX do look good so far.
It does. And I think the Japanese version leaned on the humor a good bit, and I don't care, man. That's fine. It looks funny. The jokes sounded cute. I think it'll be a charming film. I'm not worried.
Yeah.
I'm just definitely not worried in the whole, like, oh, so many jokes, it's not going to be taken seriously. Miss me with it. I'm sorry. I can't.
Yeah.
I need a couple jokes in the middle of a 2.5-hour film.
Mm-hmm. And I did giggle at what I assume is Topo running into the ocean.
Yes.
As they're being chased, and he's like, Aquaman
and then
is
hopping
like,
on his back.
Aquaman's like, yeah, I got some king shit to do.
King shit to do back at the ocean there. Orm just sitting there like, are we really about to run? Yeah, we're really about to run.
Yeah, that was fun.
I enjoyed it. I think I'm going to like the movie. I mean, I don't know where I'm going to stand with it as far as like, I mean, yes, it's going to be a weird adjunct probably to like, or addendum, I mean, really, to like what was the universe by that point. It's not going to be straightforward, guys, but you'll enjoy it. You'll have a good time.
It's going to be weird if this is just like a total banger. And that's how we end the DCEU.
This one makes $2 billion.
Yeah. Like, guess what? Snyderverse goes out in a bang.
Mm-hmm.
Really, this is the Hamadaverse. It hasn't been the Snyderverse in a long, long time, everyone. I'm sorry.
It just hasn't. But yes, that is more accurately phrased.
I know it is, because I said it. What up?
Mm-hmm.
Mic dropped. Actually, no, I cannot afford to drop a mic.
No, no, we cannot.
Protect the microphone at all
costs. We cannot afford to be dropping and losing. Did we mention the Patreon? Did this part make you laugh? Like, it did me, and it's wrong, and there are a lot of people who are gonna be mad at me about this, and I'm sorry, but it's hard not to laugh at it as like a meta joke. But was Amber Heard not in there for like half a second?
I didn't see her. I wasn't looking for her either.
No, she was in there for sure. I thought I was going to be asking you, was she in there for more than the half a second that I saw?
Yeah, I watched it like 3 times. I never saw Amber Heard.
Okay, so maybe a quarter of a second. Because I'm pretty sure it's her. And like, I don't know what the situation is, but it's like literally her angry, trapped in a room, or at least it's her bedroom. I don't know if she's trapped and angry or just happens to be a place where she's expressing her anger. But she's in a room, confined. You see her from the ocean's side of the viewpoint here. Mm-hmm. And she just like punches the crap out of this window and breaks it. And like, it's like 2.5 minutes worth of Aquaman. And then there's just her trapped.
Right.
For a quarter of a second in the middle. And I was like, man, come on. Somebody at the trailer house thought that was funny.
Yeah, that is what they're referring to as the cancellation chamber.
Yes. Like, again, I'm very sorry. I know people have wide opinions about her and everything attached to it. It's just hard not to laugh about the editorial choice of giving her for, I guess, a half a second, maybe.
That is the airlock of public opinion.
Yeah. Yeah. That was really hard not to notice and laugh at.
Yeah, but, I mean, it's been both trailers. They, apparently, because I didn't see her in this trailer, but if you did, and that's what she was doing, that's what she was doing in the last trailer.
Yeah, and I saw her in the previous one, and when I say this is like 50% different, I thought there was a little more Amber in the American trailer that I watched the last time.
Yeah, I definitely caught her every time I saw that one.
It might have been that she was more present, or that clip was longer. I don't know. Mm-hmm. Also, something fun about Japanese trailers in general is like, man, they got some energy on these things.
Yeah. I did laugh when Aquaman took off and they added in wee or whatever it was.
I was like, I know that big man can't make that sound. I know he can't. They pitch that up or some shit. Come on.
By the way, if any of you listeners have not seen that trailer, there will be a link in the show notes, so you could just pop on down and give us a pause and click over there and look at that.
I assume the rest as well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, sure. All the trailers will be linked in the show notes.
It's like, no, that's the only one I respected. Fuck the rest.
But yeah, no, like, this does look like a fun movie. It does look like a pretty movie for a movie that, given the climate at Warner Brothers, given where we are in the universe, in the shared universe, with James Gunn coming in and changing and move, like basically this probably won't matter soon.
Yeah.
Given a movie that I care almost nothing about, I'm actually kind of looking forward to it.
I am. And one of the benefits for me, probably you, on watching Aquaman film with as many characters as they give me like little cameos to and shots of right then. Dude, I don't know how many of these people I actually know or recognize. I'm still going into this movie like, well, he looks cool. Let's take a look. Mm-hmm. It's fresher than some of the lore that I'm more familiar with, like a, Batman, Superman villain or somebody showing up.
Yeah. And I would caution anyone who is on the fence about seeing it and being like, well, it's not going to count. Maybe it won't, but we're also dealing with James Gunn, who is a huge nerd. We're talking about, a franchise that pretty much invented the multiverse as far as DC is concerned and as far as science fiction is concerned. And James Gunn knows this. So if Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom makes $1 billion, they're going to find a way to continue it. There's going to be some way back.
I think that's been an open narrative so far, though. Is like it does depend on how the movie does.
Yeah.
And let's look back. I mean, as far as into Peacemaker, at least. Who were the three? Who were the three that showed up? Well, this man was among them.
Jason Momoa. Who was the other?
Henry Cavill. No, it was Gal Gadot. But like,
No, it wasn't.
it was not. You're right. No, wait, are you wrong? It wasn't Ray Fisher.
No, I think it was just Ezra and Jason Momoa.
Was it Ben Affleck? No, maybe it was just those two, and the rest of them were silhouettes.
Just those two. The rest of them were silhouettes. Yeah,
And then
they didn't
maybe-
even have a cyborg.
The cyborg wasn't even a silhouette. He was unfortunately too far gone. But yeah, you're right. But my point being, like, Momoa has been among the people that James Gunn has kept in all the products that he had a hand in so far, even pre his transition, during his transition as well. I don't see that the avenue for Aquaman is like for sure the famed cul-de-sac.
Right. And we know that he wants to we know that he wants to play Lobo, that they've been talking to him about playing Lobo. But you know what? Like, honestly, they could do anything because of the multiverse, but at the same time, like, we just saw Blue Beetle flop hard.
And be great.
And be great and flop hard.
Yeah.
And our boy's still in it. He's coming back.
No.
James Gunn confirmed over and over again. Yeah, no, he's in the DCU. He's in the DCU. Blue Beetle. I
do wonder at what point, and me and you talked about this recently, but the Marvels this weekend, 47 million. Oh my God, it's a flop. The MCU's dying. It's a disaster.
Yeah.
It's not. It's not. Like, that's lower than you want. That's lower even than the adjusted figures that I would recommend that we use.
Yeah.
But dude, these $250 million opening weekends, get that out of your head. There's
It's
occasionally
also-
going to be one, but that's not the reality anymore.
Yeah. But importantly, the Marvels also opened number 1.
Also true, yeah.
Rotten Tomatoes may have given it a 60, but the audience score was 85%.
I watched it. It was fine. I loved it, actually, frankly. Had a great time. Went home happy.
I think,
Was mad the internet lied to me about the second stinger. There isn't one. Don't waste your time, guys. The people who were cleaning the theater just looked at me funny the entire time.
yeah. But the other thing is, like, especially with things like DC is going to be one of these things, and so is Marvel. And I think DC is kind of taking a bit of an ass plowing because of Marvel to some degree, but it's both of their faults. They're just producing too much damn content. They're producing so much content. It goes back to what James Gunn was saying about, like, no one is going, should there be a sequel to this movie? Should there be a movie? Just what are we talking about here? Why is this a thing? These things need to be more special than they have been, but also just like, I am so far behind on Marvel. I have not watched Loki season 2. I have not seen the Marvels. I am just so far behind. I feel completely paralyzed. Like, I cannot sally forth and spend my money without having watched, Secret Invasion or some shit. Like, I don't even know.
No, I mean, I get it, because that's a little bit of what stunted me on some of the CW stuff that I've, like, lost track of.
Mm-hmm.
Is you lose track for a second and suddenly there's so much.
Yeah.
Like, you can't just not be on top of it. You're behind. Yeah, I get that. Deeply encourage you to watch all those things because I enjoy it. But, like,
I'll get there.
Well,
just always behind. And now Marvel put out a...
That's the point. You're going to have a chance, especially with their stuff. Like,
yeah,
we had a strike. There's a gap.
I know. But then, like, you turn around and, like, yesterday they're like, by the way, what if season 2 is coming out on December 22nd? I'm like, son of a damn bitch.
Well, there's that. Yeah. But also,
and it looked dope.
It does.
It looks so cool. Madam Web trailer came out yesterday. It looks cool too. I think that looks great.
It did. Right? And
everyone's dogpiling it, and I'm like, you guys are assholes. This looks great. Shut up.
I was at work and kind of like mentioning like, oh, what if trailer, and then like later was like, oh, a Madam Web trailer, and then as soon as I said that out loud, like somebody was like, is that like 2 in a day? I'm like, I'm just gonna be honest with you. It is what it is. The Marvels didn't make all the numbers in the world, so they're putting out a bunch of trailers. I wish that was different, but it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
That is exactly what happened. I won't hear otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
If you showed me a slate of scheduling where it was definitely going to be released today, then that was like 2 months ago, I would still tell you that was a preliminary or something. Because, yeah, I mean, that's part of the game. They both do it. Everybody does that. Oh, the hype is down a little bit. Let me throw something else out.
Yeah. Well, and so many people are out there hollering, go woke, go broke. This is proof. And I'm like, no, it's proof that when you go to a buffet, chances are you're not getting to that last, fritter that's on the very bottom of the plate.
Yeah. That last crab angel. That was
not going to make it.
That was a daydream. You knew you were overdoing it. You know what? Frankly, don't do it. Don't do it. Can I give everyone some life advice? Never finish a plate at a buffet.
I never do, because I always take chances at the buffet.
Yeah.
And grab a bunch of stuff that I may not want.
That sits on the corner of your plate. You throw that away.
Yeah. You take a bite of it and you go, oh, well, that's trash.
Yeah.
You move on to that sweet and sour chicken because that shit's going to be fire.
Yeah.
But then you're going to be able to get up and get another plate of just the things that you want.
Right.
Like the
macaroni
and
then by that point,
cheese.
you shouldn't probably be able to finish it because you had so much of the experimental stuff. Also, it is a buffet, so I also suggest don't finish it because every single bite is inviting food poisoning. And you know what? If you're full, just call it a day. Don't gamble anymore.
Right.
Don't stuff yourself. Just
I've
don't do it.
gambled many a buffet.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Me too. I have as well, and I've had many a bad day. Mm-hmm. Some of those are related topics.
I'm fairly certain buffets are the reason I'm diabetic. Anyway.
It was endless crab angels. What do you want?
Crab angels just sounds like ladies you meet around here. That's all I'm saying.
No. I mean, it's weird. If you know what that is, it's delightful. But I could eat 45 of those probably because you just take the one bite and you throw the rest away.
Yeah.
I'm not going for that little fried, dog ear on the side of it. No, we're just throwing it away.
I like that little fried dog ear.
It's all right on the last one.
All right. You want to move on to Creature Commandos, Jay?
Yeah.
Cool. David Harbour strikes over. He can talk. He can talk.
They can talk.
David Harbour is teasing how Frankenstein could translate to live action, among other things. Kind of getting into who the character is a little bit. He says, I don't know how they do it nowadays. It feels like Mark Ruffalo just put some dots on his face for the Hulk, but I don't know how they'll do it. Now, this was him talking to IO9, by the way. He says, I've worn prosthetics in movies before. I'm definitely down for it.
Clearly.
I just love telling great stories that people love. I'm just happy to get back to work. He says Frankenstein is wacky, strange, and complex. He says he's very different. It's the mind of James Gunn, so it is wacky and strange, but also full of a lot of depth and complexity. The most interesting thing to me about Frankenstein's monster in general is that he was created to be this sort of erudite, intellectual, romantic, brilliant person, and he winds up being a monster. That complexity can make for some pretty ripe comedy and also pathos, that a guy who considers himself one thing is viewed by others as something very different.
Mm-hmm.
That's the broadest, most mysterious way I can put it, because all I know is the scripts are really good. What we recorded is really great. I've seen the art. James is a genius. I think it's going to be really fun and really exciting, and it opens up a whole new world to the DC universe of how these characters will occupy the world. I like the concept of a live action and cartoon back and forth. Apparently it's still on track to come out sometime in 2024. I really like that description.
I like it. I'm down.
Makes me want to go get that giant McFarlane Frankenstein figure that he put out a couple months ago.
I don't blame you. It kind of makes me want to download some Mary Shelley. It's probably a free Audible.
Oh, maybe.
Well, he's hitting some themes that are actually in the book.
Yeah.
The monster himself is mad he was created as a monster.
Mm-hmm.
You gave me all these complexities upon birth. You son of a bitch. I'm going to go birth an entire genre in revenge.
And no one will know how to pronounce my name.
or who wrote me.
Moving on to Superman Legacy. On Wednesday, we got a confirmation that Maria Gabriela Di Faria has joined the upcoming DC film in the role of Angela Spica / the Engineer, who is a member of DC's The Authority. So we're getting a little of The Authority. We know that he's making an Authority movie.
Yeah.
The Authority is now with Superman.
The early incorporation's cool. That'll work. I mean, you can't do shit like Midnighter early on. That'll be a whole ass thing.
You could.
He looks too similar. People will just glom onto that.
Yeah, maybe.
You know damn well if somebody saw him in a trailer, they'd be like, "Oh my God, Batman's in it." No.
No, that's what they should do.
Calm down, buddy. I thought Batman was in it.
Anyway, he did confirm that, quote, "Thanks to the efforts of our talented crew who never lost faith during the longest strikes in Hollywood history and who never let their foot off the pedal, continuing to barrel forward, creating the most amazing character and set designs I've ever seen in my entire career. Superman Legacy will be making the originally planned release dates of July 11th, 2025. So, no delay on Superman Legacy, y'all.
I was happy about that.
I am happy about that.
I'm going to have a couple of good birthdays coming up as far as that goes.
Mm-hmm.
Got Deadpool next year.
There was also a report that said that Legacy is going to begin production in March of 2024. But it also said Batman the Brave and the Bold is reportedly still in the early stages, with Andy Muschietti said to be prioritizing the It prequel TV series, Welcome to Derry. I will bet you anything right now, Andy Muschietti does not make Brave and the Bold. Flash flopped, they're pulling out. It'll be somebody else, I promise you. I don't believe that shit for a second. They announced it in hopes that the Flash would get bolstered by it. We have faith. Y'all ain't got shit. He's leaving.
But he's prioritizing other. That is the script they used with Will Smith returning for Deadpool. Not Deadpool. Deadshot. A Deadpool on the brain.
Mm-hmm.
That is a very similar, like, well, he's a little busy. Not the same, but no, I take your point, though. I take your point.
Yeah. I'm just guessing.
No, I give you house odds on that. I think you may win.
It's an educated guess.
Mm-hmm.
This was a bit of fun, not really news per se, but before he was cast, before they announced who was playing Superman in this thing, the internet was basically falling all over themselves, fan casting Jacob Elordi, and there was a lot of like fan art and some dude from the Kissing Booth. Apparently, he's a really good actor. I saw those Kissing Booth movies. He wasn't great, but
I don't know him at all.
Yeah, but in a recent profile with GQ, he revealed, quote, "They asked me to read for Superman. That was immediately, no thank you. That's too much. That's too dark for me."
Superman?
Yeah, I guess he decided because of Man of Steel. He did say it was because he watched Man of Steel and Henry Cavill's version and said that's too dark. Do you not know who James Gunn is?
I'm sorry. I'm just looking through his IMDb and like, I don't know, dude.
Oh, he tanked his own career just now. Just
it's
when he did that.
I mean, yeah, like definitely would have read for that. But also, I'm not seeing any. I mean, he's right. It is too dark for him. He has been in nothing but silly rom-coms.
Yep.
There's one thing with Ben Affleck called Deepwater that didn't do well, apparently, I guess. But
it happens. Looks
like it might have had something to it, but that's it. I don't want to hear the trailer. You go away.
I just think it's funny. It's like someone's like, "No, I saw the last couple of movies. I decided it was too dark. The internet was too mean about it, or something." Like, oh my god.
No, I would have a lot of respect for anyone who turned down a cape if they said, no, I don't want that to be the direction my life takes. I'm sorry, there's too much criticism about those kind of roles. I don't want to be caught up in it. I would just rather do one-off, create my own character kind of things. Cool. Yeah, awesome. Good choice, man. You're living your life. I feel you.
Yeah. If you're like, hey, man, I don't want to play Nerd Jesus.
Yeah. Cool. Because there are too many people who worship too many versions of him, and I don't want to be in the middle of it. Like,
that's right.
Okay. All right. I feel you, actually. Frankly, I'll go you one more. You're right.
I don't know that they're right, but
I kind of are, because like you do need to be prepared for that to be your life now.
But you know what? If that's what he thinks, like I think it's funny. I didn't want that guy to be Superman anyway, based on what I've seen.
I'm not a thing. He could be the best actor that's ever been in a rom-com. I have no idea. Don't know.
Oh, he's not. He's not.
Fair enough.
He was like the low point of those movies.
Nice.
They were pretty entertaining, to be honest, but
It was a low point of a mid.
Ah.
It was a mild droop, frankly. Like, yeah, like, but when people take on roles like this, when you caution someone and say, like, okay, well, I want you to take this, but I don't want you to take it sight unseen, not knowing what you're getting into. So here's Ben Affleck and Henry Cavill's experiences. Like, you need to know what you're getting into. I feel like it's the same as when, like, somebody's show gets bought at Disney, like their cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
And the supposedly, I would love to see this confirmed, but I never will. But it does sound right. The Disney people, whomever this is, whatever department, literally take you into a room and say, I need you to know beforehand that the way you're going to respond to this is by not responding. You will never engage. This kind of behavior is something that you will never be allowed to engage with. Don't say no, don't say yes, don't bring attention to it. And then they pull out binders and binders and binders of porn made from all the Disney characters that they own and say, this will happen to your character. I need you to know that. In the depths of your soul, I need you to know that. This character will...
Stop masturbating right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This character will fuck Goofy in the ass at one point. Just please know that pegging is in his future.
Uh-huh.
Like, or her future, I guess. But still. Like, yeah, like, they supposedly do that. And one, I kind of believe it because it's a good idea. I think that's actually probably a good call, is to give people some coaching on that. But two, yes, I think it's relevant for anyone taking on Superman or Batman or anything of the like.
I'd be like, why do you think I want the job?
Yeah. For all the free porn. Shit.
This is going to be amazing. My walls are going to be covered.
It's like the last
Sometimes with art.
Like, what if the last thing they do is like you sign on to be the new Batman? Awesome. This is the role of the lifetime. Fantastic. You sign on, you do the paperwork, you roll off the lot. You're getting in your car, the most excited you've ever been to get in the car. The valet brings it to you, hands you the keys, and the valet hands you one more thing. It's, oh, wait, they wanted me to hand you this as well. And it's like a blank card, and on the back is a number, and you're like, what's this? It's like, that's your future sponsor.
Mm-hmm.
Just want you to know he's waiting for you.
Oh, God.
What do you mean? Have a good day, sir. And just walks away like this is the 1,000th time he's handed that card to somebody. Like,
yeah. I don't know. I don't know what I've tried to imagine how I would react to that kind of thing. Like, but if I was the kind of person who would get into shape to play Batman, I probably wouldn't be the kind of person that would be so upset by people being angry with me.
Oh, absolutely not. Look,
I don't know. I can't. It's hard for me to say. Is all I'm saying is because, I don't know what kind of person I'd be, because I wouldn't be me.
No, it would change you for sure. May as well. But I also liken it to, so I think one of the best jobs on the entire planet is backup quarterback for an NFL team.
Uh-huh.
I think the minimum salary is $150,000 a year. Last time I checked, I think it was $150 a year. Probably has raised by now, because I think I checked that like 10 years ago, and that's probably a little small for what they offer now. So, but here's the deal. Somebody basically pays you about $200,000, $300K a year to sit on the bench, know all the plays, be very supportive, and stay in shape the entire time. And you mostly just work for a couple of seasons a year. Mm-hmm. And the rest of it's just make sure you stay in shape and study the playbooks we send you. I know there's way more to that than what I just said, but there's some truth to what I just said. That is one of the best jobs on the planet. Hey, I just need you to stay healthy, and I'm just going to give you a lot of money for it. Okay. Oh, when you're in the off season, you can stay healthy. You can drink and everything as long as you just like stay healthy. And okay. What about during the off season? Be sober for the game. Okay.
Stay quiet on social media.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I mean, that's like the one hard and fast rule. You are not allowed to shit talk the guy in front of you on the depth chart. That's it.
Yeah. So what does this have to do with if I ever played Batman?
Oh, easiest job on the planet. Take the criticism. Don't fuck around. They're going to pay you to stay in shape. All you have to do is not pay attention to the internet. It's the easiest job in town, buddy.
Ah, I don't think that's true.
You just sit there and play with those ropes, show up for filming, go home.
All I do is sit around playing with my rope anyway.
We're going for like a record of masturbation jokes on this episode, by the
way. How you doing?
Yeah. It wasn't the intention. It wasn't an outset.
It just happens that way sometimes.
Yeah. What's worse
On-
is between me and you, if we had made that a plan, it would just be that the jokes would be worse and there would be more puns.
Yeah. I mean, I think I came across that notebook where we were just writing down names of popular movies as porn parody adaptations.
Yeah, we did. We just challenged each other to come up with as many as we possibly could.
And we appropriately went to a Hooters to do it.
Yeah.
I think it was like the first time I've ever been to a Hooters.
Yeah.
And the last time.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think we just liked the joke of it.
It was, and it was the only place that you could get a beer at like 11:30 on a Wednesday. That was accessible for us.
I feel like Pud's gonna hear that and just go, ah.
I'll give you more details. Blue Moon, 32 ounce, orange slice attached, tall glass.
Mm-hmm.
If it's not all of those things, get the fuck out of here.
I probably had a Diet Coke.
I think you did. I'm almost certain you did. I think one of my favorites off that list, and one of the only ones I remember, is that like we were writing down the porn parody version of every title.
Uh-huh.
And at some point I just handed you back the notebook with my edition and it just said Jaws. Because like I have no notes here. Like, Steven did all the work for us.
Uh-huh. Oh, I'll tell you what, if I can find that notebook again, I think I came across it accidentally.
I think that's the one with the other story in it that we just wish we had. If you can find it somewhere.
I'm not sure. If I ever find that, we'll read that on Patreon for you guys.
Absolutely. The list and the other story was just.
I don't think we should read the other story.
I don't know if we should tell anyone even what the other story consists of, but it made us piss ourselves. It's good enough.
So
for
hard,
me.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it was also like we hadn't slept in at 7:00 in the morning laughter, so it doesn't really count as truly funny. We have no idea. We lost it like 10 years ago.
Yeah, like a decade ago. So I have no idea.
Yeah.
I just remember it as one of the hardest laughs I've ever had. It was a good moment.
Yeah. We were both weeping.
Yeah. It's when I decided not to kill Dave, that he might have value.
That's...
I assume the same night you did as well.
No, that's really late in the game for that realization. Well, Jesus Christ. I've been living with you so long.
At least it happened. Why do you think you were living with me? It was going to make it easier. Did you see that backyard over there?
That's terrifying.
Yeah. Lucky you. That's all I'm saying.
Old movies told me not to depend on the kindness of strangers. Jesus.
Should have listened to fucking Hitchcock, man. What do you want to know?
I also shouldn't have depended on the kindness of old friends.
Those are just strangers you didn't know you didn't meet yet.
Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. We got a report from the Hollywood Reporter. Actress and playwright Anna Nogueira has been brought in to write Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. Mm-hmm. There is no director currently set. Nogueira's deal only recently closed, they say, following the Writers Guild of America strikes. She's best known for acting in projects like The Vampire Diaries, The Michael J. Fox Show, and The Blacklist. She has also written the off-Broadway play Which Way to the Stage and is working on an adaptation of Mothers Lock Up Your Daughters for Warner Brothers. Now, she was previously attached to write an earlier incarnation of Supergirl, and that would have been starring Sasha Calle and spun right out of The Flash. But apparently Gunn and Safran liked her work and gave her an overall DC writing deal. Gunn says, a hearty public welcome to Anna Nogueira to the DC Studios family. Anna is an amazing writer whose screenplay adaptation of Woman of Tomorrow is above and beyond anything I hoped it would be. We're excited to be moving forward on this unique take on the Supergirl and this beautiful star-spanning tale. It sounds like she's already written it.
Yeah. Think we may be late to the game there.
I am excited about this. Like, I love that graphic novel, and I am very excited to see a movie about that being worked on, and I'm very curious if we won't get an introduction to Supergirl in Legacy.
I could see that. I mean, I was excited in general about that. Also cracked me up recently that Tom King kind of mentioned an article that mentioned him, and you gotta give him bro cred here. Kind of retweeted it with the handle of the artist. and said, no, this was our thing. Every word, every drawing was some combination of skills here and talents and contribution. Like, appreciate all the press, but please include this man's name.
For Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow?
Yeah.
Oh, that would be a woman. Bilko Evely.
That's the one. I had not memorized that name at all.
No, I'm currently writing a comic, and I'm not sure that I can draw it. I just want it to be her so bad. I want her to draw my comic so bad.
It was beautiful. I don't blame you.
It's like in my heart, that is who is drawing that book, and I don't know that I will ever be able to put it out without her doing it.
That art has like a borderline fantasy, borderline Tales of the Crypt Keeper kind of feel to it that I don't know how to describe. I don't know exactly what I mean by that, but it has fantasy aspects to it, but it also feels like parts of anybody that's in a frame at any time, like their skin might slough off or something.
Right. I know you and I try to practice yes and almost religiously on this show, but I'm going to have to say no but. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, no. Also, we don't try to practice yes and as exampled by my objection to your yes and.
I know. That was kind of perfect, though, wasn't it?
It was beautiful.
I think it's time we went to break. What do you think?
Break it up.
Cool. We're going to head off real quick, and when we return, we're going to talk about the saga of Coyote versus Acme, and where you can find Blue Beetle, and the Harley Quinn news, and Dead Boy Detectives trailer, and Merry Little Batman.
Just for the record, I didn't want to break. I was just trying to yes and you and be cooperative, supportive. You know what I mean?
I understand. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for being a team player, you son of a bitch.
Love you too, buddy.
And we're back. Look, this next piece of news has very little to do with DC, but
also it does.
Kind of does. The Hollywood Reporter came out with a story that a movie called Coyote versus Acme would become the...
Is it Coyote?
Would become... Yeah, Coyote versus Acme.
It is. That's annoying. Okay.
What's annoying? What happened?
No. I was just curious. I was wondering this whole time if it was a lawsuit situation, because that should be V, or if it's Coyote versus Acme. Because now it's changed it where, like, I don't think it's going to be a lawsuit. I think he's actually attacking the building. Versus, like, he's going to attack Acme with their own devices, which must end poorly.
Yeah, maybe. Coyote versus Acme. Mm-hmm. It was reported would become Warner's third already shot film to get shelved. And, of course, this is after they did this to Batgirl and Scoob Holiday Haunt back in August of last year. And they said, these are the only ones we're doing. Now they're doing it again. So, according to this article, a group of filmmakers with business at the studio started a text chain after Batgirl and Scoob were dumped. It was a support group to share their hopes and their anxieties, as well as encouragement and tips for navigating the studio. And the one question all of them had, what was going on with their movies? So apparently the Coyote cancellation roiled the creative community harder than Batgirl and Scoob, it says, because those had been positioned as a one-off change in strategy, never to happen again. And when the news broke that this one was going to be canceled, several filmmakers instructed reps to cancel meetings they had on the books with Warner Brothers.
Their own private revolt. I love it.
Yep. So Coyote versus Acme, by the way.
And you can imagine the conversation. Well, why would I have the meeting if they're going to cancel the movie? Tell them exactly that.
But so this is unlike the other two movies, though. Mm-hmm. Coyote versus Acme was fully completed. Mm-hmm. It had tested multiple times in the 90s. Mm-hmm. And the article says Best Picture winner Argo, both Deadpool movies and the first The Conjuring are among features that likewise tested in the 90s.
It was in great company.
According to sources who saw the film, Will Forte, John Cena, Lana Condor, it was a popcorn-style crowd pleaser. Writer-director Ben David Grabinski said Coyote vs. Acme is a great movie. The best of its kind since Who Framed Roger Rabbit. The leads are super likable. It's beautifully shot. The animation is great. The ending makes everyone fucking cry. I thought the goal of this business was to make hit movies. And interesting, the plot of this movie follows the speechless, ever-determined Wile E. Coyote as he teams up with a lawyer, Will Forte, to fight the big ACME corporation. Just like in the cartoons, Coyote buys ACME devices to try and kill Roadrunner, but they never work properly and often abruptly explode. So that's kind of funny since, they point out the irony here that it would be the story of an underdog taking on a heartless company,
which is
whose executives don't realize there could be real consequences to make their products blow up in your face.
Which is beautiful. You had to love the turnaround. And somewhere in the middle of that, 48 hours between we canceled it and, oh shit, no, I'm sorry.
Something like that
was
because now they're saying, because I didn't get to that in the story, by the way, is now they're like, they've reversed that and they're like, well, we're shopping it to other people.
No,
we're shopping it now.
You said you were shelving it. You said you were shelving it. No one missed that headline.
Well, now we're shopping it.
Yep. No, but you were shelving it. But you said you were going to put it in the incinerator for a tax write-off. Well, what we meant was no. That's not what you said, and that's not what you meant. And we saw the previous 2 movies you did that too. So get fucked. No one believes you, and I'm canceling my meeting.
So I love that people just started canceling meetings.
Yeah.
And that's what made them reverse course on this.
No, it's been the narrative for a lot of people who are objecting, either in the GA or people like us who are just like more adjacent than we have any right to be, I guess, as far as like paying attention. And then like actual people that are involved is like, yeah, how are you going to keep creatives if you keep fucking with them?
Right. It was literally, they came in, they were like, yeah, we got a bunch of meetings today. No, you don't.
What do you mean? We had the guy with so-and-so for this and so-and-so for this. I called the guy at the golf course 20 minutes ago. That's where you'll be today. With whom?
Mm-hmm.
Yourself? You want me to invite your wife? Oh, God, no. Okay, yourself then?
Yeah. But I say that, I explicitly, I emphasize that. These were creatives who told their representation, cancel those meetings. And it happened a bunch. That's what reversed this decision. It was not Twitter.
No. It was the protest.
Like yesterday I was on Twitter. I haven't been much, but I popped on over to Twitter and people were just like rallying and talking about like, yeah, now let's do it for Batgirl. Yeah. And I'm like, no, sweetie. Batgirl had different problems. One of which it makes no sense given where they're going with James Gunn. It just doesn't.
It does not.
And my guess is, even if you just really want to see that movie and really want to see Michael Keaton back, which I do, my guess is you'd still watch it and go, but why? Like, and
well,
I'm
a
not
little bit
much,
because it's the same instinct you were talking about, where people don't want to see Aquaman because, like, well, it doesn't count though. Like, yeah, Batgirl doesn't count. If that's your philosophy, stop being mad.
Yeah, and here's the other thing. Like, I'm not much for unnamed sources, but I was watching a YouTuber the other day, a couple days ago, and I don't remember who he was, but he was talking about how he's talked to a number of people who were involved in the production on Batgirl, people who requested anonymity. But what he's saying kind of tracks with other things I've heard, which is basically that, like, at some point the directors went to Walter Hamada and they were like, look, the movie has some problems and we'd like to fix it. And Hamada said, or we could pull the plug. And they kind of went, okay, well, we'll just shoot it as the script has it. And then after they shot it, the studio came back and said, hey, the movie's got several problems.
And they went, no shit. So you say. No, it's worse. They went, as per my previous email. Tappity, tappity, tap.
So that may have been part of the problem. At the very least, it doesn't make sense with the current trajectory of the franchise. But my point, Twitter did not reverse this. The 1,000 or so people who were like yelling about it on Twitter didn't do shit. These were actual creatives, actual people they wanted to be in business with who said, nope, we can't trust you anymore. We're done. That made them reverse this.
Yeah. I mean, I'll give it some combo of trending. Because like, what if Warner Brothers would come back and said like, look, no one in the actual audience cares about you missing this meeting, so I'll just find somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately, they had to look and go, okay, no, we're seriously getting a lot of flack on both ends here. All right, tell them we're working on it, and just don't say no to the meeting next time we ask.
Yeah.
I do think it worked as a forked attack.
Perhaps, but I also don't think that the studios take Twitter as seriously as Twitter thinks they do.
God damn no. And the ratio on that is just substantially lower.
It's like you can't put out anything without Twitter freaking out and yelling at you. Like, and now Twitter's so
and you'd be crazy
splintered.
Not to take the social media into account, but like, no, it's not like when something changes that Twitter won the war. It's just not. If that were the case, it would still be called Twitter.
Yeah, I mean, they're acting like they're like on Reddit and they just doxed a guy who beat his wife on a live stream or something and figured out how to get the cops there. Like, good job, guys. Good job. We did it. Like, no, you didn't.
You helped. I love the spirit. I love the energy, but it wasn't that simple. But yes, it was. Yeah. It was that the pros basically said, we're not going to do this. I mean, like I said, I don't think it happens without both. So credit where it's due. Good job, guys. Keep your protests. I feel you, but
keep retweeting to your 3 people.
I know, and there's
contributing to the algorithm, thinking that topic is trending.
I know, and there's nothing wrong with it. I'm not trying to discourage you. Speak your feelings.
I actually am,
but like, nope. Dave says fuck them.
Dave says no, but
I'm saying speak your feelings, there, buddy. It's cool. People need to hear about it, and sometimes marketing actually pays attention if there's enough trend and there's support in a way that they give a shit about. And I'm also saying that if there's nothing out there in the world that they actually have to pay attention to, they will give a shit about things less. So that's cool. Hit them from all sides, guys. I appreciate that.
Sure.
Also, Dave's right. Sorry to bury the lead.
Oh man. Hey, if the lead is entitlement from Twitter users, I'm okay with burying it.
It can be, unfortunately.
Blue Beetle, man, streaming. The streaming date has been revealed by Max several days ago now. So yeah, we're recording this November 16th on a Thursday. It'll be available on Max for free tomorrow, November 17th.
Cool. So definitely today when you're listening.
Yep. Whip out your dicks, watch you a Blue Beetle, man. And don't get your blue balls.
That's the exact opposite of what happens. Normally the blue is caused by the inability to whip out said dick.
Yeah, I'm saying just finish.
Oh, okay.
That's all I'm saying. Like, don't.
It sounded like the first version sounded like an alien who just heard about a concept.
No, man.
Yeah, you go get them blue balls. Like, no, that's not how. That's what? No.
Basically, I was saying, please watch the movie and finish the movie so that they don't think that there is a high abandonment rate.
Right. Yeah. And I hate to point out how hilarious the phrase abandonment rate makes sense in this context.
You gotta really hold on to that viewer retention.
Yeah. I'm gonna make a solemn promise to anybody still listening after that many dick jokes that I'm gonna promise to try not to make any more masturbation or dick jokes for the rest of this episode.
I make no promises.
I said I'd promise to try.
Yeah. I don't even promise to try. That's my favorite thing is to find a dick joke somewhere.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I mean that's like my livelihood in a lot of ways.
Honestly, it's what I wake up thinking about every day is when can I make this happen?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to like get somebody to engrave the picture of a gooey duck on my headstone.
Yeah.
So that for all eternity, my epitaph is some sort of dick joke.
Yeah. You lay in bed for 2.5 hours every morning waiting for something to intervene in your day where you can start finally.
Hopefully by the time I die, I'm old enough that I just don't care anymore. So that like my epitaph will be literally just me, just like something about a dick. Or, you know.
Just something. Yeah.
All right. Harley Quinn has been renewed for season 5.
Hell yeah.
That is really exciting.
It is.
I love that show.
We got some Kite Men coming. This can be a whole universe for me. I'm good.
Absolutely. And also, well, you know what I love more than like just the fact that I will be able to enjoy this show, and I will, from stem to stern. Even more than that, I enjoy that this flies in the face of every person who's like, of course, everything that's not done by James Gunn is being canceled. Harley Quinn's still here.
Yeah.
He was on it briefly. But it's not DC's. It's not DC's
He was.
universe.
And then
it's
he was
not
mostly
DC
on
Studios.
there as Alan Tudyk's puppet version, but yeah.
Yeah. Like no. It's relatively inexpensive to make, and it gets good numbers.
There's really no reason to fight that kind of shit, man. This does not. I mean, it can be its own universe. This ain't got a crossover with some shit.
No.
There's no reason.
Superman and Lois is canceled because it's expensive as shit, and it was on CW.
Yes.
Nexstar has been killing everything because they want nothing but freaking UK TV, and they want reality shows.
Oh, they want cheap reality and all that kind of crap. Like, okay, cool. That's probably going to be good for your profit margin. That's fine. I won't be watching because that's not me.
Yeah, me either.
I'm not even not watching out of resentment. I just don't give a shit about anything that they're going to put on that network. Like, as far as that direction goes, I'm good. But if they just wanted to make like cheap Doctor Who level DC products of some kind, I'd probably be like, you know what? Let's see what this like basically television version of Jonah Hex looks like. Let's see. Let's go for it.
Yeah. I don't know, man. With every cancellation, there's always somebody going, "Oh, it was James Gunn." No. There are numbers. There are a number of reasons.
There are. And like, I'm not going to rule out the James Gunn effect here. I think there are a couple times where like that's been the deciding factor that like, no, I need that to not interfere with my universe.
Maybe.
100%. That's a factor. Like,
maybe.
It's not the deciding factor.
I mean, sure, there's this in a list of things, but I don't think that like that is the end all be all for anything.
No, that's my point. Like, it's a confluence of circumstances, however you want to put it. Same way Gunn, like back when he was being more responsive or like kind of reactionary in a way, but like when he was on Twitter before he had that little, dictate where he was like, look, I'm not going to just respond to everything anymore. Even in those days, like, yeah, he would respond to stuff, but he would always kind of couch it in the idea that like, hey, we're not going to make a decision based on one thing. We're going to consider this, this, and this. And like, well, what about Blue Beetle, for instance? I love the Blue Beetle movie. I love the character. We got to see how the numbers go. Mm-hmm. He kind of did the same thing with Flash on like a bigger scale before he had to kind of scale back effectively. Mm-hmm. But and part of that, let's face it, was because the Flash numbers did not bear the resemblance that they wanted to the hype of the new universe and that possibly being attached. Because of the thing I brought up earlier, I think like my theme for this episode is we don't need to pay attention to those numbers like we used to. Yeah. Not in the same scale, not in the same perspective. It needs to be thought of very differently. But
yeah. I mean, yes, Flash flopped, but they flopped on a huge ass budget.
Oh, for sure.
Blue Beetle flopped, but on a minuscule budget, and they're probably going to make their money back in streaming if they haven't already made it back on VOD.
I did my part. I did my part on both.
Yeah. So it all, but the Flash also did really well on streaming and really well in Blu-ray sales.
Flash, so every time I open my HBO Max app right now, is still kind of in those like suggested viewings.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Ezra Miller again, honestly. I, at this point, would not be surprised about anything.
I agree. And I like that as a hopeful thought. But I'll go one more and say I'd be surprised to not see Ezra Miller at least one more time somewhere in some capacity.
You'd be surprised if you didn't see him?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like that would astound me if there was not some swan song for Ezra's portrayal. Like that something.
Yeah.
Some return of some kind. I honestly would not. It could be in Creature Commandos for all it matters. I just do not think we're done with them.
Okay.
Not saying it's going to get a sequel. Just saying that I think we'll see that character again somewhere.
Right. I don't think it'll get a sequel. But I do like Ezra's portrayal.
Oh, it's fucking delightful.
I'm also okay, if they wanted to push forward with somebody else who was closer to comic accurate and had them kind of, pass the torch a little bit or whatever, man. I'm good. I'm so, over being pissed about the stupid shit. It's not stupid. I love it. I love all of it. But at the same time, it's stupid shit.
Yeah.
It's not taking food out of my mouth.
Yeah. 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 It is fantasy.
Yeah. Sometimes fantastic fantasy. And what did you think about this trailer for Dead Boy Detectives?
Confirmed. Actually, before you say
Once again, confirmed that it's the Sandman universe, Netflix Sandman universe.
I did see that part. What's funny is you say don't take food out of my mouth or wouldn't take food out of my mouth, but you know what? That's not entirely completely accurate. It's not that I would starve. It's only that I would tell you that if we're being completely accurate about it, I have watched stuff that I thought was disappointing enough that I did lose my appetite and skip a meal. So in that sense, yes. It's taking food right out of my mouth.
I didn't think about it in that way. I thought you were going to go more of the less successful DC is, the less successful this podcast is. Or I thought maybe you'd go with the more successful it is, the more I'm going to spend on action figures and the less money I'll have for food.
No, what I meant was
it was a few different ways.
No, it was more along the lines of occasionally it does me a health favor and makes me diet better. By being bad.
Right. So Dead Boy Detectives, man, what do you think?
Loved it. Fucking loved it. That trailer looks fantastic.
It does. All qualms about the previous Doom Patrol versions of the characters not returning, gone. I'm good.
Yep.
This looks great.
Yep. I know. I get it.
Of course, all they really had to do was say as part of the Sandman Netflix universe, and I'm like, oh, yeah.
Well, yeah, but when they said that originally, because they did, a while back, that it was going to be Sandman adjacent. And in the meantime, we've learned that Doom Patrol's going to be ending and not be adjacent to anything. Fuck. So I no longer care about any of that. All I care about is that this is a new universe, cool, and yeah, it's all like a gaming inspired adventure. And dude, the camera work with them flipping the fucking camera as they go between phasing and stuff like.
Mm-hmm.
Oh hell yeah! Oh hell, the absolute fucking yes! That looks fantastic.
Yeah. Looks great.
I'm gonna enjoy the shit out of this. It's everything I love. Yeah. It's everything I love. It's the world of the supernatural and DC, and Gaiman was in charge, and fuck me, I'm in so hard.
Me too, man. I'm deeply excited about Dead Boy Detectives.
And I didn't realize this. I don't know the Dead Boy Detectives at all. Only just run across them a couple times. But they're running from death. That's how they stay alive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I didn't know that. That's fantastic. God, I love it. I love it.
Yep. I am totally down.
Mm-hmm.
Really excited about it. Don't know what else to say. It's coming soon. I really wanted a date, but can't have everything all at once.
It's probably within 6 months, given how Netflix does their stuff.
Mm-hmm.
If I had to guess. Honestly, if I was guessing, they're going to let it get past the holidays and then give you a real date once everyone's over the Christmas season. For something like Dead Boy Detectives that's, a little bit not Christmassy.
Yeah. Oh, man. And finally, we got this trailer for the animated special, Merry Little Batman.
Hey, little buddy.
What'd you think, man?
I don't know, man. About half of that, I was like, oh, that's going to be a neat take. And then the other half of it, I was like, I don't know why I'm doing this.
What do you mean you don't know why?
Because I feel like watching it, that's about half of how I'd feel. Half of it, I'd be like, I don't know why I'm watching this. I don't know. This isn't going to hit for me. The animation's weird. Those jokes are a little blah, 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 blah. And then the other half of the time watching the trailer, I was like, oh, that's a neat take. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
I don't know where I'm going to land with it. That's all.
Yeah. Well, I liked how weird the animation was, first of all. I really loved that when Batman's leaving. I liked a lot of the humor, when Batman's leaving and Alfred's like, "Did you overlook the bat razor, sir?" And he's like, "I kind of like it. It really ups my intimidation game." And he's like, "You have donut crumbs in your intimidation game, sir." Dude, I laughed. Like, that was funny. When Joker's like, "Which one of you gave a little kid bombs for Christmas?" and freaking Penguin and Bane raise their hand. Like, that was funny.
No, that was good. I liked the bit about the like where he's like, he made me a bat costume, and he puts it on. It's saggy. You just like adjust it, and it like suits up to his ass in a way that I feel like is a reference to Teen Titans Go.
Oh no, it was definitely a reference to Batman Forever and Batman and Robin.
The nipples for sure. Oh no, you're right. I know the shot you're talking about. That was definitely yeah.
Yep.
It was just how fast they cinched it up, and it wiggled a little bit. But no, you're right. That was definitely that. What was with the crotch shots? What was with the crotch shots in that movie? God damn it. Sidebar. Every time they suit up, we have to look at all their genitals. All of them.
Of course.
Every last one.
Yeah.
Because that's going to be in the Happy Meal. Fucking like, what?
Uh-huh.
What is this V in my Happy Meal, mommy? Oh, that's Batgirl's vagina. The close-up shot. Action figure. What the absolute fuck?
With karate clit action.
It's okay if you pull the back, if you spread the cheeks, it gives you a quote from Mr. Freeze. Like, okay.
But hey, he did reference the Batman and Robin suit. He said that one leaves little to the imagination.
Yeah, of course.
Made fun of the old the old 40s Batman costume. That one's saggy. I don't know, man. It looked delightful.
It did. I like the in references and all that.
Looked like a lot of fun. And we know this is supposed to be spun off into a series called Bat Family. So that's also going to be on Prime Video. I'm down with it. It looks fun.
It will be. There's going to be a lot of the in jokes that I'm talking about. Like at the very end when they're together in the uniforms. Okay, cool. Like, I'll probably enjoy the shit out of it. I just feel like there's probably going to be a portion of it where I'm like, what am I doing with my life watching this right now?
Probably.
And then like 20 seconds later, I'll be like, okay, no, I understand.
Yeah, it is a family friendly thing, they claim.
Looking back, it does seem like it would be a family friendly thing for the most part.
Mm-hmm. But it does look like
I did enjoy him running around in like a paper bag for a minute there.
Yeah,
that was very cute. I think my daughter might glom onto that a little, like enough for me to watch this movie.
Yeah, it's gonna give Evelyn some ideas. Like, you're gonna have to make a little Batman mask out of a brown paper bag.
Are you kidding? We'll just get her the real one that I bought her.
Man, no, it hits different when you make it yourself.
You haven't seen the one I made myself.
Yeah, I'm just not that interested in your sex life. Look,
I made sure hers doesn't have nipples.
Okay. Does your Batman mask, like, you pull out the ears and instead of blades, they're dildos?
I won't answer that.
That's a yes, folks.
The cowl is battery powered.
You often use what you refer to as the Batawang.
Yeah. And the wangs.
I knew we'd get back to dicks.
Yep.
Boom. Shakalaka.
And the whole front vibrates. You're welcome, ladies.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The cape is made out of cow tongue. You're welcome, ladies.
And there's a bunch of ladies. Why? That does nothing. That's the worst.
You'll be begging for the cold shoulder.
That's even worse. Why? It's not supposed to be cold. Or of a cow. And there's one person being like, no, that works for me. Send me the product. How much am I paying you?
It's a niche market, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
I'm marketing to a very specific group of people.
Two messages in Twitter. Hate to slide into your DMs, but were you for real? Do you know where to find that?
And I'll be like, no. What's wrong with you?
No. And then you send them like the link to betterhelp.com.
# no kink shaming.
Yeah.
But
that sounds unsanitary.
BetterHelp.com.
I just want to make sure you're safe.
Full disclosure, it will be an affiliate link to betterhelp.com.
Yeah.
I may earn a percentage off of your wellness.
It's possible that we will be represented, but there is actually no discount. So, bad deal. Kind of understand.
Yeah. Just to get your 15% off BetterHelp, just type in DCOS cow tongue dick joke. I don't know.
Yeah. / DCOS cowbat dick cake cold tongue.
Mm-hmm.
If you can remember all that.
Hashtag clitorati.
Yeah. I mean,
that's it.
What the fuck would you do if your therapist was like, I do know the answer to that question that you've had since you were 8 years old, but this is the discounted version. So I can't actually
buy the pro version.
Yeah, I can't actually help you with that. But if you upgrade
to unlock those repressed memories,
yeah, and just subscribe to the premium. It'll be repressed memories, and we're going to give you some serotonin. What do you mean?
Yeah,
that's a thing that people can do. Just give you the serotonin. What? Yeah, no one wants to tell you that.
Mm-hmm.
Is it like a pill I take? Nope. I just give you the serotonin.
Well, sometimes it's just, in a melatonin gummy instead of melatonin.
Those are called edibles.
Yeah, I mean, no, but that's a real thing that happens, though. Is that like those, all those like, what do you call them? The supplements, supplement companies, they aren't regulated. So,
oh no, they're not. They've trust
found
your vendor
like
there, buddy.
Yeah,
like the melatonin gummies.
Woo. Yeah, like the melatonin gummies. Like they've done tests, and like some of them don't even have any melatonin. But they do have serotonin in them.
Yeah, but that won't work. You won't process that the same.
I don't know how that works.
I'm almost certain I do. And like, no, you won't process that the same.
I don't know. I'm just.
And my understanding, it will not go through tummy to brain.
Okay.
Not that way. That chemical dies in your tummy.
Maybe.
Also, I don't know how they would actually keep like a neurotransmitter in a freaking.
Yeah.
But I'm sure about the first part. Don't be sure about that shit.
Yeah, there's no telling what you're taking.
Yeah, I know.
And on that note,
I have to go to the hospital.
That's all I've got. No. I'm gonna go eat more pizza. Because that's all we've got on the show for today. Was it everything you hoped?
And less.
Okay. That one caught me off guard.
Sorry. Yeah.
I hope you enjoyed yourself, Jason.
I did thoroughly. It was nice to be back.
And I hope you enjoyed yourself, dear listener.
I hated skipping, although I'll always deeply enjoy Effie's replacement.
Yeah, that was a fun episode.
Yeah.
Until next time, keep some DC on your screen.
And don't finish the buffet plate and watch your supplements because there should be some shit in there that you're not seeing.
And do finish Blue Beetle.
Do finish Blue Beetle and eat your veggies.
On Max.
Unless the veggies were made by a supplement company.
In
which case they probably have caffeine in them for some reason.
Just cup the sack and lightly tap and finish your load.
Talking about loading trucks of potatoes.
Yeah.
We were discussing that before. That's probably out of context. We were discussing that before, how to best load a truck of potatoes. That's out of context. I apologize. That probably sounded a little bit crass.
I apologize for nothing.
Yeah. Dicks!
Hey, thanks for listening to DC On Screen. Our theme song is by Jason Goss and Michael Shackelford of Galactic Engineers. The incidental music is by Michael Shackelford and Kevin MacLeod. You can rate the show on Spotify or rate and review us on Apple Podcasts. Doing that really helps push our show to new listeners, so your help would be much appreciated. You can also contact the show at DC On Screen on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, or email us at dconscreen@gmail.com. To become a patron and get ad-free episodes and exclusive content, go to patreon.com/DCOnScreen. Your reviews and feedback may end up on a future episode of DC On Screen. DC On Screen is a production of Maladjusted.tv in association with Stranded Panda. If you haven't already, please be sure to subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or whatever damn platform you use.
Are you maladjusted?
It was all perfect. I don't know. It was masterful.
It's right there. It's like you're just telling me that was a great job. Great job, sweetie. Just don't do anything else. Just don't do anything else. You nailed it for what you can do. That was perfect. You just walk away right now, sweetie. Walk away right now.
Yeah. These are nipples cutting glass right now. That was